Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt, and on today's episode, we are talking, yes, we are finally going to be getting the Defenders Season 1. If we ever get a Season 2, I don't know, I'm assuming we will, but we are getting Defenders, which means I need to go through all of the series. I've already done Iron Fist. You know how I feel about that. Let's talk about Daredevil today. I've never talked about that on here, so we're just going to do Season 1, Season 2 review all together. Right now, let's go. Okay, here's the thing. I don't like Daredevil Season 1. I know a lot of people are big fans of it. I just thought it was the most boring thing I ever forced myself to watch. In fact, I could not even finish the series. I got to about episode 8 or 9, and I was done. It was just too boring for me. I couldn't get into it. I didn't like any characters whatsoever. I think I liked Foggy the most, and still not really like him that much. And even Vincent D'Onofrio, who I thought was a fine Kingpin, still was just like, it kind of felt, I know this is going to be a very controversial thing to say, but it felt a lot like how Jared Leto played the Joker in a way that was just like, he did it in such a way that there was no way that every single person could possibly love the way he played him, which is totally fine. I can completely understand how some people would love Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. I get it. I can totally see it. I just couldn't get there the entire way with him. I just couldn't. And then with Matt Murdock, it's just like, oh my God, the whole origin story was so boring to kind of watch out with the flashbacks with his dad and then with Stick, and oh, that was bad. And then the whole thing with Claire Temple just felt weird, in my opinion. It didn't really feel like it fit. Nobody had any chemistry at all in this first season, and I couldn't finish it. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that I don't think that Marvel's Netflix series should be 13 episodes. I'm very happy. I believe The Defenders is 8 episodes long, which is great. I think the longest they should be is 10 episodes. There's too much filler. There's too much boringness and sidetracking and all of this stuff that we do not need. We do not need it. I like a clean storyline that doesn't have a lot of room for filler. You know what? That's why I also like this season of Game of Thrones so much. It's 7 episodes, and so you cut down 3 hours of fat that you don't need. And despite the fact that I could not finish Season 1, I still really wanted to see Season 2, and that was mainly because of Jon Bernthal. I love Jon Bernthal. If anybody has been watching my channel, they know I love Jon Bernthal. I loved him in Walking Dead. I loved him in Baby Driver. I loved him in The Accountant. I like him in all of these things. He's in Fury. I need to see that. There's so many movies that I want to see that he is in, and then I cannot wait for The Punisher, which is going to be a whole season of just him. I love Jon Bernthal. I think he might be my favorite actor working today. Yeah, I think that's safe to say. I think it really is. There's something about him that is just captivating, and I think he just makes everything better that he's in. Plus, I really wanted to see a good Elektra. The last Elektra I saw was Jennifer Garner, and that was rough. That was really rough. And I know that people were very high on this second season. They really thought Punisher and Elektra worked really well, and so I was really interested to see what they would do with it. So I turned on Season 2 without actually watching the ending of Season 1. I was like, let's just go for it. You know what? If I'm a little confused, whatever. I've started a lot of series in the middle, and it's been fine. Honestly, from the first episode of this season, I loved what they did. I really did. There was not one episode that I did not enjoy to the max. Like, I loved the beginning where it was sort of this mystery around who was taking out the cartels and the bikers and all of these bad people. Because, it was basically mass murdering, like the Irish clan. Like, that was a great scene. Really great scene, because you didn't see it coming, honestly. And at first, you just think, oh, maybe there's like a new mob in town, that's going to be what the storyline this season's going to be with Daredevil. Which also, I really like seeing Daredevil in his actual costume. I think it looked good. It didn't look cheesy, which is really fantastic. I think they did a great job on that. But I liked the mystery around that, and then kind of discovering that it is Frank Castle, a.k.a. the Punisher. And I just loved the juxtaposition of Daredevil's Matt Murdock and Frank Castle Punisher, how they just mirror each other. They're like the opposites of each other. They both have the same ideas in wanting to save the city. They just think that there's different ways to do it. And by the way, I'm about to spoil some stuff. So if you haven't seen Defenders, if you have not seen Daredevil Season 2, then just skip to the end of this where I tell you how much I like it. Anyway, back to spoiler version of this review. When Daredevil finally kind of took down Frank Castle, after Frank Castle was sort of taken by the Irish mob and then kind of was tortured, and then, you know, the Irish mob is all dead now because of it, which that I loved that. I like how it was just a massacre. Anyway, Daredevil kind of turned him in a way. But before that, you get this amazing speech of how Frank Castle's whole mindset came to be with the murder of his kids and all of that, which was just like the best 5 to 10 minutes of TV that I've seen in a very long time. I just loved it so much. I was just like eating it up. And I really like how it goes into Matt Murdock and Foggy and Karen deciding to represent Frank Castle in this murder case. And of course, this is kind of when, you know, Karen and Matt have gotten together a little bit, which I'm not really a fan of their pairing. I think they have decent chemistry, but not like chemistry. So I like how we get to watch Karen and Frank Castle kind of grow into this weird friendship, where I think that they have chemistry. Like, geez, Deborah Ann Woll and John Bernthal, holy crap, the chemistry is there. And also you get the introduction of Elektra around this time, and Elektra's really distracting Matt Murdock from the case, and it's causing a rift with Foggy and Matt and Karen, and it's a whole thing, and I think that it all works together in the long run. And there's a whole bunch of plots that are kind of going, you know, Frank, he decides to just kind of go off the rails because Kingpin wants to talk to him, and then Kingpin kind of breaks him out a little bit of jail. So there's that whole thing, and then you have Matt and Karen kind of like riffing apart because Matt is with Elektra all the time, and Elektra is trying to get something because she's working with Stick, who did not tell Matt that he knew Elektra, and then Foggy and Matt keep getting in fights because of everything that happened during the trial, and it's really like, it's a lot, but it all works somehow. And I don't know if it's just because of the chemistry that all of these actors have developed with each other, or if it's just better writing. I don't know if they got different writers for this season. But I just felt like it was a different show. And even though there are parts of it that annoyed me, like the whole righteousness that Matt Murdock has with, you know, like, you don't kill, like, yeah, we get it. We've heard this argument a million times in a million different shows and TVs and books and all of these things. I did enjoy at the end of the series where it was kind of just like Matt was just so pissed that Elektra died, that he just didn't even care that Frank Castle decided to join him and just kind of like shoot down a couple of these like ninjas from the Hand, or I think it was the Hand that was, yeah, has to be the Hand, right? I don't know, maybe I'm getting my shows confused, but I'm pretty sure it was the Hand. And while all of this is happening, you have Frank Castle getting his revenge on the person who was responsible for the murder of his wife and children, which was just like, it was kind of heartbreaking because you had the Karen side of it, who was trying to help him kind of become a better person in a way, but he was just so shrouded in his misery that he had to do it, which, I mean, it worked. It totally worked. I didn't find it annoying, which sometimes I can find these revenge fantasy things in these shows and everything. It just like it felt right by the end of it. They didn't change his character, which is great. You know, it's still The Punisher. And I am so excited for the first season of The Punisher. I'm more excited about this show than I am about The Defenders, or I was about Iron Fist, or about any of these things. I am so excited about it. I think The Punisher is one of the best anti-heroes that I've seen done on television. And also you get Deborah Ann Woll's Karen is going to be joining the season, which we already know they have great chemistry. And whether or not the series kind of tilts more towards them having a great partnership and a great friendship versus them being more than friends. Either way, I'm completely fine with it because I think it could work either way. I really could. I lean towards them having a relationship because I do think that they fit really well. I think that Karen has this darkness inside her that hasn't fully been explored yet. And I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of that darkness come out and see how she fits really well with the Punisher and Frank Castle. And maybe lighten Frank Castle up a little bit. Make him laugh. I don't know. I like a happy John Bernthal. I'm very interested to see how they all work together because I know that Danny Rand's Iron Fist and Luke Cage are going to kind of have like this sort of like, not buddy cop relationship, but I know in the comics, they tend to have that sort of, they work together quite a bit. And then you have, of course, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, who have this history that was never fully resolved, I don't feel like. And then you kind of have Daredevil, who doesn't really have too many ties to anything. He's just all of a sudden defending Jessica Jones, even though, let's be real, Jerry Hogarth would be her lawyer, if anything. And then you don't really have Jessica and any connection with Iron Fist. It's going to be interesting to see how they all work together. And I would really love a little cameo from the Punisher, or a mention at least. I would like it. And I think they kind of have to, because I think that they have to lead into the fact that Karen Page is going over to the Punisher, and I don't know if she's going to be in Daredevil Season 3. Have they even renewed Daredevil for Season 3? I have no clue. I know that they're obviously doing Luke Cage and Jessica Jones Season 2. They announced at Comic-Con that Iron Fist is getting a Season 2. I have no clue if they're doing Daredevil Season 3. I think they would. I think it'd be crazy. But then, of course, we have that whole thing with Disney taking away a lot of property from Netflix in the next coming year or so. Which, in case you guys don't know, Disney owns Marvel, and this is obviously Marvel and Netflix's joint venture, so it's gonna be interesting. I don't think that they'll be taking this off Netflix. I think that'd be kind of crazy, but it might put a halt to some of the production or announcements of any further seasons. I don't know, but we'll see. Overall, I think that even though I really, really disliked Daredevil Season 1, in fact, I'll say this, and this is going to be another controversial statement from myself, I preferred Iron Fist Season 1 over Daredevil Season 1, because even though Iron Fist had so many problems and was stupid to its core, it was not boring. You know, it was stupid enough to be entertaining in a way, because you just hated so many people, you're just, oh, it was bad. But Daredevil Season 1 has, to me, and I understand how some people like it, but to me, the worst thing a show could possibly be is boring. You know what? I'd rather have a show be bad than boring, because they're two different things. Daredevil Season 1 was boring to me, but Daredevil Season 2 completely redeemed it. I think it's my favorite season of any of the Marvel Netflix ventures. I just thought it was amazing. I wish it was longer, in fact. You know what? I mean, 13 episodes, it didn't feel like 13 episodes. It felt like a 9 to 10 episode short series, because it didn't feel like there was much filler. You know what? Maybe I was bored maybe for like 20 minutes within the whole thing, but that's fantastic. Especially considering I watch Walking Dead all the time, and I'm bored 98% of the time. Okay, well, that was my Daredevil Season 1 and 2 review. I was really high on it. I cannot wait to see what happens from The Punisher and Defenders, and hopefully a Daredevil Season 3. I'm sure we're going to get it. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what were your thoughts on both the seasons, in fact, and what are your hopes for, of course, The Defenders, which is coming out this Friday. Whoa. Anyway, subscribe to me. I do videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every Monday is a Game of Thrones review video, Wednesday and Friday. I just do random things that really don't matter because they're either irrelevant or nobody watches them or they're super late or, yeah, or sometimes I don't make videos. But I made one today, so you're welcome. I'll see you Friday. I'm going to be doing Jessica Jones probably, and then next week you'll get a Defenders review. I promise I'll try to finish the season this weekend. Okay, bye.